everyone.
Okay.
I say we get started. What do you think?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, give me one sec. Funny story, still trying to figure out technology. Was trying to press the record button, but it's already recording, so we are ready to go.
I'm not sure who opened this up, but it was already open and recording when I got in here. I don't know.
That's perfect. It's a beautiful thing. Hello, everyone. So my name is LP, and I am the owner and co-founder of Focus on Health. Really excited to have you all here today. Focus on Health is a platform that advocates for the health and wellness of the food and beverage sector. And we turn one next month, which I'm really excited about. So thank you for this amazing year. But today we have our lovely Kapri Robinson here teaching one of the Speed Rack Academy sessions, one of many that we've offered this month. She's gonna spill the tea, y'all. Hopefully most of it ends up in the drink. I also told this joke last night and nobody laughed, so it's okay. I realize I'm not that funny. Relations of Black organizations and charities and other amazing people in the industry, but I think I should just spare you all and let her introduce herself, that she can discuss this amazing class that she has. So I'll let her take it away.
All right, awesome. So once again, I'm Kapri Robinson. Thank you all so much for being here for Sis Got Tea. We will be talking about achievements and innovations in the Black community in the industry today. And just a little bit about myself. I am the president and founder of Chocolate City's Best, which is an organization. We'll get a little bit more into that into the slides. But it's based here in DC. I also live here in DC and bartend here in DC. I've been in the industry for maybe like 6, 7, 8 years. One of those numbers. It's been last year. I don't know if it counts, but so this has been really awesome. I'm so excited. I want to say thank you to Focus on Health. Thank you to Speed Rack. Thank you to Roku. Thank you to The Blend and all the people that have really made this month really special for this events that Focus on Health has been doing with fill in the gaps. And yes, I'm ready to get started. Let's go ahead and get into our slides, and then we'll get into some drink presentations. It's gonna be awesome. All right, I'm gonna. Oh wait, okay, there you go. I fixed it. All right, so starting off, this is innovations. Sis got tea. Innovations and achievements of the Black industry community. Do I go next? How does this work? I don't have no idea. Just a little bit of what we're going to do today. So I'm going to talk about why we are here. We're going to go through a few Black-led organizations. We're going to go through a few Black-led and owned businesses, individual achievers, and then a little bit of other mentions. So why we are here, we will be focusing on Black-led organizations, businesses, and Black people who are working towards change of equity and equality in the industry. These entities and individuals are trying to dismantle certain systems in this industry that continue to harm our community. These organizations, businesses, and people are what/who I believe are achievements of today's Black community in regards to the industry. So the first one we're going to start with is A Sip of Paradise. A Sip of Paradise was actually founded by Kiana Mincy Parker, who you'll see here on the screen. And it's a garden community for bartenders. Pretty cool fact is that she actually started this after she did her Bombay Sapphire Most Imaginative Bartender competition that she actually got pretty far in, and was like, I believe, the only Black woman to get as far as she did at that time. This garden section is actually located in Atlanta, Georgia, where she's also from. And the goal of this garden is to create a healthy and safe space where bartenders can come and recharge their creativity, minds, and more. What I think is awesome about this space is that they have a different events, and one of the events that they've been doing regularly now is yoga in the garden, which of course sounds so peaceful and great. The garden is used to allow bartenders to grow their food for themselves and their families, and also they also allow their bartenders to come and, if they want, buy a plot or rent out a plot for their bars too. So if you wanted to grow plants and things for your bars down in Atlanta, you could do here at the Sip of Paradise Garden. They have 41 plots, which 8 of them are sit plots, which are kind of like communal plots where everyone can dig in and grow what they want there, and which all of these people can enjoy their plots. We can go to the next slide. What's really awesome about this is that I did we were doing Gardens and Cocktail series on IG earlier last year, and we were able to have Kiata on, and she showed us around the plots, but they were growing so many different things. They have an agave plant there, lots of different types of tomatoes, and just lots of different greens, pineapple plants. And there was something else that was really awesome. And I was just like, I want that. I want that here. I want to go garden every day too. So it says here, I find this organization to be extremely beneficial to the mental health of industry workers, which is something we don't get to find a lot. Which I agree with that, right? We, in the health, in our industry, we don't have many things. Now we have Focus on Health, which thank you so much, but we don't have many things that we could have ran to or go to kind of get our mental health together, especially with the demanding hours that we were doing. And now after last year, the complete stop in what we're doing, trying to figure out where we fit in now and trying to figure out what to do, you know, should I change a career or something like that. It's been so much for us. And what I think is awesome about this garden, it allows some people to be able to escape, to be able to go and get back to land, and growing and putting their fingers in the dirt and, you know, just seeing how plants just grow. For me, I've been doing a little bit in my house, which she helped me encourage me to do. And taking care of these plants has been a lot to kind of reflect on myself and reflect back on what's going on in my life. And I believe this space does that for people, which I think is so important. It's also important in the Black community because mental illness is sometimes a taboo that we go through. And it's, I mean, even in my own family, right? Bringing it up seems like, why would you talk about that? What do you think we're crazy? It's like, it's really hard for us to kind of face those things, where this space kind of gives you a time to kind of reflect, at least away from that, and encouragement around you and a loving family around you to try to combat those feelings and maybe even help you to, you know, move into figuring out your mental health that you need to do. It also is an organization that connects people back to the love and art of agriculture. And I want to say this specifically for the Black community. As you know, slavery, we were in the fields, we were doing that. So generations after that, that's not what we wanted to do. We didn't want to be there anymore. We didn't want to be in the land anymore. But what we lost with that was our connection to the earth. I believe that we lost our connection to the earth that way. And I feel like in a Sip of Paradise, it allows you to kind of get back into that slowly, and understand why it's so wonderful to understand how to grow things from the earth for yourself, you know? And I mean, with the almost apocalypse that we had last year, it might be great to have a garden in your house or nearby. So that's a Sip of Paradise. And I just think they're really awesome for what they're doing. Oh, wow, time for a cocktail already. That's amazing. So let's do this. So I call this cocktail a Sip of Paradise after the garden organization. And of course, it's gonna have Roku gin. So we're gonna start off with a little bit of lemon juice. Can anybody tell me why ball jars have 2 tops? I don't know. Lemon juice. So I always mess that up. This is gonna have cucumber juice. I just got a new juicer, so I'm like juicing everything. Oh, and if you want to know the recipe, we did 1/2 ounce of lemon juice, 1 ounce of cucumber juice. We're going to do 3/4 ounces of green cardamom syrup. Yeah. Be right back. I forgot my eucalyptus bitters. Voila. Eucalyptus bitters, about 3 dashes of those. 1, 2, 3. Wow, that green cardamom smells so good. And that's Hella Cocktail Bitters, which is a Black-owned bitter company, which they're really cool and awesome, supportive, which is great. And then we're gonna do 2 ounces of Roku gin. Gonna grab some ice. A good old refrigerator ice. I miss my big ice so much.
Hey Capri, who makes those bitters again?
I'm sorry.
What kind of bitters? What company makes the bitters?
Oh yes, Hella Cocktail Co. My light is so bad I can't see anything. But Hella, Hella, Cocktail Co. And this is Hella Bitters. Black-owned company. I believe they're based out of New York. Go ahead and ice up my glass.
I have an answer to your question earlier about the bottles.
Oh,
about the mason jar.
The whole chat. Thank you, Lauren. Keep me on track.
I got you, girl.
Apparently,
it's when, oh man, there's a lot of stuff going on in the chat. I lost my place. Apologies. The two tops is for the seal during canning.
Oh, wow. Thank you. All right. Gonna go ahead and strain this over top of some soda water. I wanted to carbonate this whole drink. Ah, such a beautiful color. But of course, my CO2 pumps didn't come in on time because we're all having issues with the mail. And then we're just gonna garnish it with the lemon wheel and a few cardamom pods. And voila.
Like that looks delicious.
That is called the Sip of Paradise. So cheers. Yay. That's awesome. All right. So on to our next organization. Okay, so next up is Turning Tables, which you'll see that I have on their shirt. I don't know if you can see that. But Turning Tables began in 2019 and was founded by Toure Folks. Really good friend of mine now. Turning Tables is probably, I just think they're doing such amazing work. Turning Tables' goal is to advocate for equity in the industry by providing educational tools, mentorship, and more to Black and Brown folks in the industry. They curate a yearly 12-week intensive program that connects externs with cocktail and wine knowledge curriculum, restaurant and bar management training, brand marketing, and hospitality leadership. So I was able to go to actually see this 12-week program last year in New Orleans. I was only there for 4 or 5 days. I didn't do the whole 12 weeks, but it was really awesome to see the people that were into this program because they were, I mean, I call them kids. I know I shouldn't. They were definitely grown adults, but the students were so just like wanting for knowledge. You know, we were able to go to a few distilleries. We talked to some gin and vodka brand ambassadors and makers. And these students had such great questions and they wanted to know more. And I mean, like their notebook is like, you know what, this one person drew a still in their notebook. I was like, this is getting crazy. I never studied like this before. But what I loved about it is that Turning Tables was giving them so many tools, access to so much information that you really wouldn't get if you're starting in the industry at all, which is something that is needed in the Black community in the industry in general, and for people of color in the industry in general, because you know, we get into our entry job levels sometimes, which could be your bar back, your dishwasher, different things like that, and aren't able to move up in certain places because we aren't having access to that information that Turning Tables is trying to give you. They're also partnering their students with mentors, people in the industry that have been doing this for a while, that, you know, have the willingness to share their knowledge with this person that's trying to enter or already has been in the industry. So I got to mentor one person named Alana, and she was super dope. and she's doing so many things right now. She was able to win one of their competitions that they put on. She's started some of her cocktail businesses after this class. And it was just really awesome to see the growth with all this knowledge that she was able to get. They gave them knowledge on types of ways to make syrups, how to infuse, how to pour a drink, what are your classic cocktail recipes, all these things that I definitely wish I had when I started in the industry. But it's just, I'm very big on education in this industry, and having the access to it is huge. And the 12-week program is giving them pretty much all they need to know to begin on a really great path in their career. Next slide. Oh, Turning Tables is not just for those in the industry. Sorry, that first picture was Teray. That was who that was. Sorry. Turning Tables is not just for those in the industry, but also for those wanting to enter it. So they take people who, one, feel as though they're frustrated with where they are in the industry. They haven't been able to get anywhere. They've been trying to step up, get into bartending and different things, and they haven't been able to find that pathway. They also take people who are just like, I think I might be interested in this. I want to learn more. You know, I'm hungry for the knowledge, and they give them all the opportunities. What I think is awesome, they did continue through COVID. Is that what that was for me? Yes, they did. They masked up. They were in a space that had tables 6 feet apart from each other. Lots of sanitizer. The people that couldn't make it, they made sure that they were able to do it virtually for those who might have been too compromised in the spaces. And the students, as you see here, it was at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think 2 more. So it was only 7 students. It's not a big group of students that you're going to get with Turning Tables. They might get larger down the road because of, as we get better with vaccinations and being able to have real regulations or whatever that means. But this class was not on the larger side. What I think is awesome, an awesome part of what they're doing also, is that they give them internships in the establishments down in New Orleans. So like they'll actually like put them into a bar so they can see how it works and how it maneuvers, and that bar will tell them, show them how it's done and what to do, and then also give feedback on how to be better. They also work events. When I was down there, they did something called Drag Queens in the Garden, I believe, and they it was really awesome. We like had barbecue and drinks and singing and dancing. It was really awesome. And this garden was a beautiful place to be. I really want to go back. I have something about gardens, but they're giving them so much experience already before even entering into what could have been, a shit show. Now they can go in and have a little bit of knowledge of like, okay, I know that these tools work this way. I know that this is how service works and my steps of service. I know how teamwork goes and different things like that. So I think Turning Tables is such an integral part of the industry right now, because they are seriously fighting for equity in the industry. They're seriously fighting for access to this information, and not, it's not gatekeeping, but letting the gates open, letting the floods of knowledge open. So yes, I think we're gonna go on to our next cocktail. Yeah. Let me switch up my ingredients really quick. Doobie-doo. I wish my light was a little bit better. You can see how green this cocktail is because it's so pretty. All right. So, of course, I named this cocktail after Turning Tables. Get some ice. All right. Glass. Ooh, yay. Okay. So this one is called Turning Tables. First, we're going to have a little bit of lime juice, about a ½ ounce of that. Then we're gonna have some watermelon juice. Oh, you guys, I've just been juicing everything. 1 ounce of that. Next, we're gonna have a hibiscus simple syrup. We're gonna do 3/4 ounces of that. It smells so good. And then we're gonna do 2 ounces of the Roku gin. And I went with this cocktail like this. Well, sorry, tell you a little bit about the first cocktail. I wanted it to be green and refreshing, just like something of things that you would get out of a garden and giving you that really just bright flavoring. Here, I kind of wanted to embody this shirt and like how colorful it was. So that's why I went with the ingredients. And I just feel like the ingredients being bright and fruity and fresh, it's just kind of what the vibrancy of turning tables gives me. So I guess, there we go. Oh yeah. Nice little froth there.
That looks so good.
And then we're gonna go ahead and top it off with a hibiscus and orange blossom spritz from Savoy. So Savoy Society. I don't think they're Black owned, but it's something I had in my house. And cheers.
There's something about the color pink that just makes your mouth like start salivating.
Honestly, right? I agree. Absolutely, that's fucking delicious. I mean, that's delicious. I don't know if I can curse in here. All right. Next cocktail though. Next slide.
Girl, you're on a roll.
I'm actually gonna heat up my tea while we talk a little bit. All right, on to Chocolate City's Best. Chocolate City's Best is was founded by me in 2018. It first actually started as a competition. It was a way that I knew how to get people more into the industry. And I'm talking about Black, Indigenous, and POC folks into the industry, Black and Brown. Let me go ahead and Black and Brown folks into the industry. And I did this because I was getting amazing opportunities to go to Camp Runamuk, to go to Boston, to do a lot of different things in the early part of my career. And as I was having fun, I was having a great time, but I found that I wasn't seeing a lot of people that looked like me anywhere. Maybe a handful of us. And I just felt like there should have been more, especially with, coming from DC, where I feel like there is a handful of Black and Brown bartenders here that are doing awesome things. And I just didn't feel like we were fully represented nationally. So I thought to myself, well, what got me here? And it was winning the DC Cocktail Queen of 2017. And I was like, well, let's make a competition. So with the help of my co-founder, Michael Holiday, and also Danae Jones, who was actually the first winner of the competition, they helped me put together that first competition, which was honestly amazing and also a shit show at the same time. But it showed us what we really wanted to do. And from that, it actually started to stem into, and it is now a nonprofit organization and a platform to connect people of color in the industry to lots of different opportunities for career growth. So what our goal is a lot of the times is to show people that there's a career outside of just being behind the bar and standing behind the bar. And that's where one of our events called Beyond the Bar, which we do yearly, comes from, where we're highlighting people of color, Black people, Indigenous people of color. Sorry, I keep saying of color. We're highlighting them to show that they have extended beyond just being behind the bar. And that could be a brand ambassadorship, that could be distilling, that could be mobile bartending, that could be a lot of other different things. So that's one of the things we really love to do. And throughout the past 3 years going on 4, we've found ourselves trying to also curate conversations that people aren't having in the industry. And one of them was empowerment in the workforce, which we did last year on Zoom. And a big part of having this conversation was to empower the employee. You know, we find ourselves sometimes being the yes man and always saying yes, 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 even as tired as we are, as mentally drained as we are, as physically drained that we are. And we don't have the guts or the courage to stand up, not even stand up against the person, but to say how we're feeling to our, to the owners, to the GMs, and tell them about what we need as employees to be in a better workspace. So those are the type of conversations that we like to give and the type of tools that we like to give. Also through the competition, we do the competition now annually, and that allows us to connect our competitors to different brands and create brand relationships with those brands. We allow them to go through different educational courses. We did a lot about creating a cocktail this year, which I thought was really awesome, creating a replicable cocktail, because, you know, going into virtual bartending and people wanting to buy grocery lists and different things like that, you have to make a great, unique cocktail, but it also has to be something that people can do on their own in the house, which I think is something that we've all kind of learned this year, because we are fancy people. But this definitely, I feel like, has helped us to move into something else. But Chocolate City's Best so far is my baby and is our baby. And we just really feel as though we just want to continue to push forward conversations that aren't being had, giving educational classes and courses. Right now, we're working with the WSET to get a scholarship fund out there for levels 1, 2, and 3 in the spirits training. And we're working on creating our own Spirits Week. And it's just been a lot of fun trying to figure out how else to create doors, open up doors, create pathways, or open up those pathways to different ways to grow your career, and making people know that you can live in this industry with joy and fun. It's hard work, but if you love it and you're a hard worker, you can do it. Yes, so that is Chocolate City's Best. So yeah, I guess we go to the next one. Oh. Yes. Goal of CCB is to continue to push Black and brown faces to the forefront of the industry. Once again, I started this because I didn't see enough of us, you know, especially, I think the idea came to me while I was at a Jameson party at Tales of the Cocktail. But I just was looking around, I was like, okay, look, like, I love all these people, but where are more of me? So that's what we want to do. That's why a lot of our events and different things are putting those faces out into the forefront. We're trying to connect them to brands. We're trying to connect them to people that are making moves in the industry, because we're trying to put more people into the forefront that you're seeing, you know? Yes, I think that's what I said. We'll go to the next. Okay, so now we're gonna get into Black-led businesses. Radical Exchange. Woo, Radical Exchange, y'all. If you don't know about Radical Exchange was founded in 2018 by Ashton Berry, who you'll see on the screen here. It is an experience-based agency that promotes intersectionality through event series, like the acclaimed symposium Resistance Served, honoring Black hospitality workers. Radical Exchange gets us speaking, sorry, this is me talking, gets us speaking about the hard topics and finding paths to solutions within ourselves. So Radical Exchange, as it says, is an event experience-based agency promoting intersectionality. My first time really experienced what they did at Radical Exchange was through Resistance Served in, not last year, so 2019. And I mean, there were days that I like cried and bawled, because the conversations that we were having made me have to reflect upon what I was doing in the industry, business-wise, what I was doing by myself in the industry, like what were the decisions that I was making? Why was I doing what I was doing? Why are the obstacles around me the way that they are? Why they just kept you thinking a lot. And they really helped to connect you to the past. One of the days we went to a plantation, the Whitley plantation down in New Orleans. And that was my first time on a plantation, and walking around, seeing how they were making rum. It was a sugarcane field, acres and acres wide. Seeing how they lived, seeing how they made the rum, seeing the housing differences, you know, between slave masters and the slaves. Seeing they created a memorial about who they actually had records of, who was taking records of, and seeing that on it, they would have the name of the slave and what they did, and seeing how many distillers were on that stone. And it was just so overwhelming. I mean, I think everyone cried at one time during that day. But this is what Resist and Serve did. This is what Radical Exchange does all the time. I don't know if you're ever following their page or ever following Ashley Berry, but she's constantly challenging you to think about what is the work that you're doing and how is it impacting? Is it positive? Is it negative? Did you attend it or not attend it? If it's not intended, how do you change it? Like it's work that we need to be doing within ourselves all the time. And I tell people all the time, because right, we're having a lot of conversations about how does equity work? How does equality work? How do we get there? What are the solutions? And I say all the time, the solutions are within ourselves and how we are living our lives. And if everyone can focus on that, then we're able to focus on what we're actually doing and how the impact is being made, and if there is a splash being made there. Because what we'll find out is that lots of times, if we're not thinking about how we're doing the work inside ourselves, we're just doing something that's very performative, something that's just for the clout, something that's just going to get us on the front of a magazine or in an article or different things like that, winning awards, and not really thinking about if what I'm doing is actually working, if it's doing anything, which I feel like Resist and Serve is needed for that, right? Because we need someone asking us the hard questions for ourselves, for us to be able to reflect on what's going on. Now, don't get me wrong, you know, those conversations are hard. I'm even sometimes in the house like, I don't know about that, right? But then it happened to me today, actually. But then, you know, sometimes you think about it more, and it might not be for you, it might be for you, but the things that are for you, definitely try to work on them. So that's what Radical Exchange does. They also did an awesome online program last year called Give Me Brown, where lots of different conversations about how Black and Brown folks are embedded into those areas. So they talked about coffee, we talked about rum, we talked about cognac, and I think it was almost all day. It wasn't an all day thing, but I mean, it was just amazing, the conversations that we were having, how those categories affect Black and Brown people. And it was just, I think that the work that they're doing is so radical, you know, and is needed in our industry to really start dismantling some of the things that we don't even know is actually happening because it's subconscious, right? This is how the industry always was. This is how we always worked. And Radical Exchange challenges that. So that's why I really love what they're doing. Yes. The next, and I think it's online virtual Resist and Serve is 27th and 28th. They also might be doing like a 2-day, like 24-hour for like global reasons too. So it might be pretty cool. Back to Black. All right. Back to Black is a business here based in DC. It's something that I was happy to be able to help become an organizer of. And it was founded by Andra AJ Johnson, which is the bottom, your screen, I think bottom left. She's on her knee. And Back to Black brings together Black bartenders and culinary professionals to raise continued support for Black community. Through the story and lenses of Black people, Back to Black tells stories, sorry, this is redundant, stories of the Black experience through these professionals. Each event raises money for charities and organizations focused on the Black community. So Back to Black started, we had gone through George Floyd's death, Ahmaud Arbery, like we'd gone through so many, Breonna Taylor, so many devastating things last year that were just in our faces, because what did we have to do? Look at our computers and our screens. That's all we had. So it was in our face how much police brutality was happening last year. And then the protests started, and then people are getting locked up. And AJ calls me and she's like, what do we do? How do we do it? What's going on? What do we do? And then she was like, you know what? We just have to do what we know best, and that is put together events. But this has to be impactful. We have to make sure that it goes towards something. So she was like, you know what? This is what we're going to do. We're going to get these people. I was like, whatever you need, I'm here. And I was just like, yes, 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 because I also was trying to figure out, what is my part to play in this? How do I show that I care about what's going on? How do I, because I'm not like activist, you know what I'm saying? I'm not somebody that's in these streets, bullhorning. I'm not one of those people, but I want to be one of those people in the background that's making things work and happen, finding solutions. As those people are on the front lines doing their thing, I'm making sure that everything that they're fighting for is trying to happen here in the background. So she came up with this name, Back to Black. And if you see there, our logo is kind of about taking our stories back, taking our history back, taking that back and telling it the way through our lenses, and which is not usually how stories are told, and showing our passion for our community through drinks and through food. So what was really awesome is that we had 4 what we call them storytellers, which were bartenders who created a cocktail that connected to their own personal story in the industry and through the time that we were going through last year. And we had a chef that also created a dish, and this was all to go because it was 2020. So we couldn't do anything in the house. So what happened was we would have pre-orders, people would come and pick up their packages. And we would give them directions on how to drink the drink, how to make the cocktail, how to eat the food. But the biggest part was the story. This year for Black History Month for February, we're doing our 4th version, which is called Remembrance, where all of the cocktails that are being created are connected to a story in Black history where we, as a Black community, were faced by white rage and violence, and our legacy and generations were wiped clean from the face of the earth, pretty much. And so we have the 1985 MOVE bombings, we have Rosewood, we have Tulsa, and we have Selma that we're connecting on and being forefront on. And we're telling it the way we researched it and the way we've been known it, and how it also has a bit of our emotion and pain through it a little bit. But because we need people to understand that we have to talk about these things, we can't run away from these events, and we can't allow, the hurt to make it seem like it never happened anymore. So we wanted to make sure that people still know, hey, we know these things happen, and we have to remember this feeling and dismantle it, get rid of it, so we can start to build anew. So that's why I think Back to Black is so powerful. Not only that, all the money, I think we've raised about $28,000 now for different charities. And all those charities are specifically helping Black people and Black communities. And a lot of them are DC based, but we do some national ones, but most of them are DC based. But yeah, Back to Black is very close to my heart. I'm so happy that I was chosen to be a part of it. And I think a lot of people need to know. Hopefully in the next couple of years, we'll be able to be national. That'd be really cool. So thanks. Almost teared up a little bit. Brown and Balance. Okay, yo. Okay, so Brown and Balance is so dope. I know y'all been seeing, hopefully y'all been seeing what Josh has been doing, Josh Davis. I'm actually not exactly sure when it was formed. As you can see, I know they have an Instagram. I'm not sure if there's a website, I couldn't find one. But Brown and Balance gives a platform to put Black bartenders in the spotlight. They conduct pop-up events that also celebrate Black bartenders and their achievements. My first ever Brown and Balance event was here in DC. Josh, I think Lauren, you remember that? Maybe not. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, unmute is hard sometimes. You invited
Yes. Okay. Yes, Lawrence brought that. And he chose 5 Black women. AJ was there too. Roby was there. 5 Black women, and we did a little pop up upstairs of Jack Rose. And it was just really awesome because I had never been to an event like that before. You know what I'm saying? I had never been to an event where it was purely Black bartenders and purely Black women bartenders at that. And I just think that is so powerful to just show that we're here, we exist, this is a thing. And he does it all over the country. He now, of course, having to transfer everything kind of online last year, has been doing such awesome work on his IG, bringing people on their lives, showing that they matter. He's also been having really tough and great conversations online, which I thought is amazing. And yeah, Brown House is really cool. They're making awesome t-shirts now. If you haven't seen them, I think one is normalized Black bartenders. Super simple, but like, yes, please do. And yeah, they just do really cool work. They did an awesome what's it called? It's hard to say so much. They did an awesome Juneteenth event last year where they brought all the different types of organizations that I'm showing you here today on for a live with Lush Life and with Kapri. And it was just really cool because that was probably the first time all the organizations that, you know, are trying to make moves and doing things for people of color, for Black people in the street, kind of came together on one stage type of thing. So I just really commend Josh for just trying to constantly bring us together nationally. And I just think that is super needed in our industry for someone to constantly be like, how do we work together? What do we do? Where is everyone's strengths and how can we play them together? So that's huge. So that means my next cocktail, which I believe I called either Brown and Balanced or Balanced Brown. I'm going to get my ingredients.
We love Brown and Balanced.
Yeah.
We love Back to Black. We love Chocolate City's Best. We love all of it.
Yes. Yes. I need to get more bitters. I don't know why I forgot. These cocktails are just looking at me like, are you gonna drink me? Soon, honey. Soon. All right. Throw this out the way. So, I feel like this couldn't be Sis Got Tea without a tea cocktail. Just gotta do it. So this is called the Balance of Brown. I'm sorry I don't have I wish I had a glass mug. I don't. But we're gonna do everything in this little mug here. First, we're gonna put in here 3 sugar cubes. Next, I'm gonna put about a half, or I like to say scant, so just below a ½ ounce of lemon juice. Not exactly a quarter either. I don't know how to explain that. And then we're gonna do 1½ ounces of Roku gin. This is all gonna go into your vessel. Let that soak up into the cubes a little bit. Give them a little smash. Nice. And then I hope this is still hot. Yeah, it is. Gonna pour. This here is a desert mint sage tea. Nice. I feel like Uncle Iroh right now. Like, look at the bowl. And it's almost kind of just like a gin toddy, really. And then we're gonna finish it off with some Hella Cocktail citrus bitters. I wanted to add these bitters because they give kind of a herbalness to the cocktail. And as you see, the tea is brown, so balanced and brown. Balanced flavors, balanced and brown. Brown mug or bowl. And I would finish this off with the lemon peel, but I forgot to peel it. So there we are. Brown bones. Cheers. Yay. It's probably really hot. Oh no, it's perfect. Delicious. All right. Now we're on to the last stretch, you all. Back to the slides. Oh yeah. Uncle Arrow, tea for this. Hey. Oh, can we go back to the slides? Just start sipping on this. All right. Okay, so here are some individuals I believe that you should try to follow. I think you all get these slides afterwards. I'm not really sure actually. But these individuals here, I believe, have such awesome content on their pages. They're having hard conversations. They're working on their own businesses, ways to dismantle some of the things that are harming us in the industry, especially when it comes to education, when it comes to knowledge of Black history in the industry and different things like that. These people here are doing that. So just gonna go left to right from the first row down to the bottom. So the first one is Erica Christian. She's actually based here in Washington, D.C. She has extensive wine knowledge, a really awesome person. She has some really awesome projects coming out for you all soon. Crystal Mack, but based in Baltimore. Next to that is Clyde Davis. He's also based here in DC. I believe now, I actually don't know what he's doing now. Sorry. Next is Tiffany. I always mess up her last name, so I'm not gonna butcher that right now, but she's based in Atlanta, Georgia. Next to that, her is James Cox. They are amazing. They're based in Oakland, California. Yes. New rhyme line. Thank you, Mo. Next is Tracy Franklin. I believe she just started at Sagamore Spirits recently. Super amazing person, woman, Black woman in the whiskey industry. Knows so much. If you go to her page, she does whiskey quizzes, which I think are amazing because I found out so many things about grains and the way that the science behind grains, just because of her stories. So Tracy is amazing.
Here now.
Huh?
She's here.
Oh, she is? Hi, Tracy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. I'm literally like crying.
Oh no. Hey, yay. Okay, so Tracy Franklin's here, y'all. Was I right when I said? Okay, I think I was right.
So my apprenticeship is at all different distilleries, but I started my apprenticeship at Sagamore Spirits. I'll be there for a month.
Nice. Amazing. Please follow her. Watch everything she's doing. She's growing and just always such a amazing inspiration. Next is Micah Anderson, based in Portland now, I believe. He did a lot on, he talks a lot about, which I think is really cool, helping and understanding the sex work environment. Not just him, but a lot of other people too. But I learned a lot from his page about how to support and how to, safely support and different things like that from his page. And then Denicia, yay! Denicia here, Chicken and Champagne. She's amazing. Because her page, she does her own syrups and spirits and cocktails that she mails out. But besides that, if you go to her page and you see in her highlights, she's constantly doing like story histories. She did one on Blaxploitation. She recently did one on the New Orleans Black Panther Party. And just like, it's just like lots of random things that I didn't know I wanted to know until I'm like following her page. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy that I know this now. Like, this is going to help me grow. So yes, and I love her aesthetic and everything that I look up to. Pretty much everyone on this page is people I look up to. So that's why they're here. But yes, these are the people that I love. Woo! I didn't know Tracy was here. This is so great. And then of course this is just the Instagrams for, I did the Instagrams for these organizations because that's where you can also find their websites and different things like that, and kind of just scroll through and see what they're doing. Some people that I didn't bring up here was Rooted in Hospitality, which is based in Chicago, and then the Black Industry Collective, which is based in San Diego, are also some groups that are doing some really big things right now. And everyone else is what we went through earlier: Civil Paradise, Turning Tables, Shock State's Best, Radical Exchange, Back to Black, Brown and Balanced. And I think that's the end. I can't believe I made it. We did some good timing, you all, so that's really awesome. Oh, this is my long bio here, if you ever want to read it. But you can follow me on Instagram at capri.possible, Twitter at capri_possible, even though I'm bad at Twitter, so I don't really say much on there. And then my Facebook, you can add me as a friend as Kapri Robinson. And that's all I have. Any questions? Anything we want to talk? We want to chat? Yay! Thank you all. I haven't looked at the chat this whole time. It says I'm just like 72. Yay.
Thank you so much, Kapri. This is awesome.
Yes, of course. Thank you all. I appreciate it. I hope that you all get to follow some of these organizations, people. I think they're very integral with the change that's coming for our community in the industry, and just helping the industry still grow from where it is and being as awesome as it is today.
Yeah, for sure. So for anyone interested in maybe rewatching this or sharing this, we will be uploading it to YouTube tonight. Her slides will be posted on our website as well. So just feel free to check out our website, flohelp.org, or our Instagram, which will have the information for you to be able to access.
Okay, this is so fun. Okay, I hope you have a great night, y'all.
Awesome. Thanks,
I'll see you
everyone.
on social media.
Bye.
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 See you.
So much
Bye.
love.
Thanks,
That's
everyone.
awesome.
Bye.
Yay. Bye, Ducky. Bye, Zach. Just gonna stay on to see everyone. just gonna keep. Bye, girl.